Hello,
So,
hello
welcome, you
everyone.
guys. Welcome to Can You Talk Sports? So,
Yeah.
follow us on IG, on Facebook, on YouTube at Can We Talk Sports. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click that link and subscribe at the bottom of the page and give us a thumbs up. Okay.
Yep, and like
So,
the page.
yeah. So, I'm Carmen, AKA Mama D.
Yes. And I am Kawashika.
And I am Icy, aka Icy of Icy Fashion. And we are Can We Talk Sports?
Yes.
Yes.
So how's everybody today? Y'all doing good, ladies?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Excited.
So
Yes.
yeah, so well today we're gonna have a special guest today, you guys. So I'm excited because we just had the Olympics that happened, and we're gonna have a Jasmine Moore, who was an Olympian that did the was it the triple jump? Um,
Wow.
and she's gonna be our guest today on the show, straight
All
out of Texas,
Excited.
Texas native,
I'm
right.
excited. Right on Grand Prairie.
right
I
in
see.
Grand Prairie.
They on
Who's
Olympic.
next?
Them Texas girls.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we hope our guests will be enjoying the show today and chiming in, getting their questions in because we have one of our own, especially if you're here in Texas, we have one of our own that you guys can get a few questions in for. So at the same time, I guess at this point, I guess we can go into our y'all want to go into our hot topic, or are we gonna
Yeah.
wait for hot topic? Hot topic. I'm having a tongue tie, guys. So look, today I feel like the hot topic is tips for parents for recruiting process. I think this is where a lot of parents get confused on how the recruiting process works when it comes to whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, track, or whatever. With my personal experience, I dealt with more football. My son ran track as well, but that wasn't what he wanted to go to college for. He's a football athlete. So my son's journey was different than maybe somebody like Kawashika's son, which was, who was highly recruited. My son got in the middle of um, a transfer. He got in the middle of transfer. He's a very good athlete, but his circumstances were a little bit different. So he kind of had to transfer. He didn't get on the field much the junior year. A lot of people don't know. Like if your kid is for example, if your kid is a 2021, wait, are we 2020, 2022? Because we're going to have a new year come.
Mhm.
If your
Mhm.
kid is a 2022 graduate, he needs to be getting offers his junior year. I mean, you can get them up
Yes.
into your senior year,
Yes.
but a lot of the times, and this is what I learned for the situation of my son, he was a 2021 graduate. Well, I mean, no, I'm sorry, he's a 2020 graduate. His football season was 2019. They play all the way, and if you go to state, of course, you catch the end of the year. Well, really, in 2019, those graduates get those 2020 graduates get their scholarship their junior year. So if you didn't
Yes.
get, because the schools have only so many scholarships to give for the athletes of 2020, and if they happen to run out of all 2020 scholarships that they're allowed to give per year, um, then you're kind of stuck. Your son has to either get some on the way in, or in my situation, we ended up getting an offer the day before signing day, but that was God.
Mm.
But it was not
Mm.
a scholarship offer. He had a preferred walk on, PWO. PWOs, they aren't bad, but hey, we're gonna have to probably do a grant, student loan possibly, and then you hope they earn that scholarship that first semester or that year. That way it'll eat up, if he had to take a loan out, it won't be like crazy.
Mhm.
So parents have to know to recruit, be proactive. Don't sit up and depend on the coach to do everything. Be proactive as a parent, but if you get information, give it to the coach. Let the coach know, or you can still do your own talking, but you can't expect a coach to strictly get your son recruited by. I mean, it's his job to help that, but you got to remember, it's like 90 other players on the team in football, or 80.
Mhm.
So he's trying to get
Mhm.
offers for all of those that are coming up. So that's why it's good to give them a hand out, give them a hand. But be careful for those recruiting services too. Some of those recruiting services that ask for this money and stuff are not legitimate. You have to do your background search, but you have to make sure that you're trying to be proactive with your son and put film out. Post on Twitter with them on your page, tag them, whatever. All that stuff matter. People think it doesn't, but it does. Somebody's watching. Do you ladies have any
Right.
advice on it? Like
Yes, ma'am.
Kawashka, your son was a highly recruited individual.
Well, I have an older son, right? And
Of
so
course, that's right. Yeah, Larry, I forgot.
with
Yeah.
him, I did experience that, Icy. I
Okay,
experienced,
that's right.
right. His junior year, he had some injuries. Um,
Mm, kept
also
him
had
off the field.
an altercation. And so that held him back a lot. It really did.
Gotcha.
And so I agree with you because this was like what, 2014, 2015. In
Mm-hmm.
my mind, and it is, I'm pretty sure a lot of parents believe this. I'm glad you brought that up. In my mind, I thought honestly that the coaches will recruit him. I didn't have I didn't have no clue on how to recruit. Now, of course, the kids go to camps.
Yeah.
Was able to go to camps, um, but you're right. The junior year is the most important part. That's when
Mm-hmm.
they supposed to be getting offers,
Yeah,
uh,
because they
Mhm.
can talk.
back to back, right? And so
Yeah.
we suffered. We did. We suffered because he wanted to go to a D1 school, and
Mm-hmm.
we end up going to a JUCO, which was Cisco College, and he
Yeah.
made that decision at the last minute. But I know he suffered a little bit with depression and all
Yeah.
that. We just knew he was going to a D1 school, and
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, like the coaches, Coach Mathis, and some more other coaches at DeSoto, they tried their best. They did, but it wasn't enough film, like you said. It
Yes, they gotta have that
Mhm.
film.
was,
Yep.
and when
Yes.
those things happened to him was like at the beginning of the football season. So
Mm-hmm.
I know firsthand, like it's like, and this has always been with me. Like I've got the good. I done got the bad, and I done got the good. So I can
Mm-hmm.
understand the parent on one end, and then I can understand because, excuse me, my son now out of high school, no problem. Colorado
Yeah.
came to visit, just
Mhm.
awesome, just 100% scholarship, just
Yeah.
truly a blessing. And so now, he was at Colorado for a while. We experienced his situation, which it is what it is in college because he just recently did a transfer. Now,
Yes.
transfers, you know, to God be the glory, it didn't take that long. And guess who they went back to? They went back to DeSoto High. They went back to Coach Mathis
To
and
check on them.
yes, to get the
A
feedback
character check.
right. So your
Mm-hmm.
character, your conduct, your grades, all of that will follow you because you don't know
Mm-hmm.
who watching you. So now he's at a big powerhouse due to that. And it just his
Mm-hmm.
work ethic, he always stayed.
I always have. Yeah.
So let's go
Mhm.
back to Larry. Now,
Okay.
since that didn't work, because he did go to college, of course, he went to some more colleges. But guess what he's doing now? Now he's coaching. He's
Coaching in
coaching
college.
junior college.
College.
So
And
yes,
that's just the beginning. He finna work his way right
absolutely,
on
Yes.
up.
absolutely. So with the
Yeah.
recruiting process, my advice, parents, please, like the social media is off the chain. You talking about somebody that know how to recruit their son? You looking at an icy baby. She did not
Mhm.
play, honey. And I love it. Love it. Most parents just show, oh, my child, the game and this, baby. She was going in. Do you understand? So you have to be proactive and
Proactive.
Look, I
yes,
got my son
Yes.
highlight
Well,
tapes and everything made.
yes.
well, my experience is a little bit different because my oldest was Mahogany and she played volleyball. And when I tell you, nobody came to the school to watch her play volleyball, all of her looks. And we didn't find this out till later, and it was all a learning process for us. But as parents, we have to be proactive because especially in volleyball, they don't come to the school. They go to the club tournaments in the spring, and you can
That's
go
right.
to any national tournament, and all you see is coaches walking around, and they have their names on their shirt, and they're watching from game to game. And that's how she got recruited, was through club volleyball, and it was a really good experience for her. But my husband and I, we didn't know until her 10th grade year what was really going on. She didn't start playing club until 10th grade. So we were kind of behind the ball in it. But when I tell you, when my son played volleyball, when my son played football, we knew to get involved and to be proactive. So we started making tapes and stuff. Like, we weren't quite as, it's been a few years now, so we weren't social media and all of that. But I can tell you, do not depend on the coach to get your child recruited,
That's right.
because the coach can help, but like Icy said, they got 50 to 80 kids that they're trying to take care of, and you just got one. So put your energy in, especially for football. You got to go to the combines. You got to get your child out
Camp.
there. You got to get them exposed. So parents, do your research. Like, find out whatever sport it is, find out what you need to do to get your child looked at. And don't
Yeah.
depend on the coach.
Yeah. That's right. Make sure you research the camps that they're going to so that you can make sure it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. One other thing, I know we're going to get to our next topic and introduce our guests. When you're going to these camps, another pointer I can give out that's very important. When they have these big in Texas, which is, y'all know, Texas football is big. When that in it, and I'm sure this may be in other states. When they have these camps that 300 kids are going to be there, don't go to those camps. Because just because it's finna have 300 kids, your kid is not getting looked at by, there's probably 15, maybe 20 coaches, if that, at this big old camp. So if you got 300, a camp where there's 300 and this is this mass camp and all that stuff, it makes no sense to go to those camps because it's too many kids for them to focus on your kid. 9 times out of 10, when they go to those camps, they're gonna say, hey, they already know the kid they're looking for. Somebody had already said,
Mm-hmm.
hey, bring this 4 or 5 star recruit here. That kid's there. Those guys just want to see that kid work out at that camp. It's like seeing a workout. They're only there to watch the kids they've already had an eye on. And so their coaches or whoever it is may have said, hey, bring him to this camp. We're gonna have him at this camp. And that's it. That's all them for them to probably give them official offer or just to put them on their radar or to show some interest. So just be careful with that, guys. It's not worth it to go to these big mega camps because you're not gonna, figure out the ones that make sense. But those are not what's up. So
That's
Carmen, you want to
good.
introduce our get
That's
ready to
that's
introduce
good
our guest?
information, Icy. So, you guys, on tonight's show, we're honored to have Jasmine Moore. She's a triple jump Olympian, and she's going to be sharing her journey with us about the obstacles that she's conquered. So, Texas is in the house. So
Yay.
excited. So from Grand Prairie, for you who don't know, Grand Prairie, this is a Texas triple jump Olympian who loves cheese and poetry. That's a combination, cheese and
Uh-huh.
poetry. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jasmine Moore.
Driving by, you could easily miss it. The sign. This sign. A humble reminder that an Olympian lives here.
Whenever we got to walk through the stadium before we competed, that's kind of whenever it hit me.
Jasmine Moore is one of the best triple jumpers in the world.
And I was like, wow, I'm really at the Olympics.
Fact that hadn't quite hit her when we spoke to her at her send-off party.
I'm excited.
She got back from Tokyo late Sunday. Moore was just under half a meter shy of making it to the final round.
I wasn't really too happy with my performance, and I know I can do better.
Mental health and pressure are big themes at this year's games.
Being in the light and just having everyone watching you, especially at the Olympics, it can be tough and it can be challenging.
She has her own request.
So for people to just be kinder, I guess, whenever they're watching us compete and understand that we're more than our sport.
She's home and getting ready for her junior year of college, like any other
Mhm.
20-year-old. But peep the nails and
Yay, Jasmine! Welcome to the
Hey, Jasmine.
show.
Hi, Jasmine.
Thank
Welcome to the
you. I
show.
appreciate y'all for having me.
No
Hi,
problem.
Jasmine.
Oh,
Listen,
okay.
can
I'm
y'all
sorry.
hear
Go ahead,
me?
Kawashka. Yeah, we can hear you. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Kawashka.
Listen. You on the Can We Talk Sports show, so let me represent Texas is in the house. Do you hear
Yes.
Yes.
me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So we're
look, Jasmine,
yeah.
go
Mhm.
ahead. I'm sorry, Kawashka. I think I talked over. We have a delay. Go ahead. It's your turn.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
bad.
So Jasmine, we have this game called Would You Rather,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So let's get started.
Okay.
Would you rather eat tilapia or catfish?
I hate seafood.
Ah!
Oh, so
Neither.
neither
So
one.
neither.
Okay, so they're
That's
gonna come back
funny.
around to me, but I gotta think of another one then. Okay.
Okay.
Look, I'm
Okay, so
going
I
next.
have one. I
You
see you
gonna
want
go?
to go
You want to
next?
go? Go ahead. It don't matter. Go ahead, Carmen. You
Okay,
started first.
so Jasmine, we know that you're from Texas. So, would you rather have barbecue or soul food?
um, that's hard. Well, it depends on like who's cooking. I guess if it's like, I'd say if it's like my parents, then I definitely would do soul food. My mom is really good um, with like fried chicken, especially mac and cheese. No one
Mhm.
compares. So I guess
Making
I
me
would do soul
hungry.
food.
Making me
Yeah.
hungry. You making me hungry. Okay, look, my question's gonna be out the water. Okay.
Mhm.
Would you rather? Would you rather use boiling water as eye drops or gargle hot sauce?
Dang. I would say hot sauce because like you sometimes I feel like you get like hot stuff in your eyes already and like you can handle it. I don't know about the boiling water. I'm not gonna take any
Look,
chances.
you were able to elaborate on your answer and everything. You're good. Okay. So look, Kawashka, we coming back around to you. You want to give her another question since yours didn't
So,
apply to her at all.
so hard. Listen, this probably kind of sound crazy, but would you rather uh, would you rather ride a horse or a car? I'm trying
A
to come.
horse.
Oh, good,
Oh, a
cause I
horse.
love horses. Yes, I love horses
Mhm.
too. Yes, yes. It's crazy because you always second guessing yourself, and you never know. People might be thinking the same way you are. Yeah, I love a horse.
Exactly. Okay. So look, let's get into your first question.
Mhm.
So you just recently did a interview with Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Mhm.
How was that experience?
It was really cool just because I've obviously gone to his church since I've moved to Texas, my family and I. So it was really like awesome because obviously it's a mega church. So to actually get to meet him personally. And of course, my
Mhm.
mom was like, she was freaking out more than me. She was so excited for the interview just to have him reach out. Just meant a lot because obviously such a great pastor and such a great person that I look up to,
Yeah.
and so does my family.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right. So do y'all actually attend there, or y'all just it was just an interview?
No, so yeah, we attend the Potter's House, and I've gone probably since like elementary school. That's whenever we moved to Texas. And so my mom obviously, well, since COVID, she just watches online, but like before then
Yeah.
we would always go in person, like, and I would go to the firehouse and
Oh
um,
wow. Where are you
go with my
originally
friends and
from?
everything. So I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and then my family we moved to Kentucky for a couple years, and then after that we moved to Michigan when I was like in second grade.
Oh wow.
Oh,
You've been
sorry, moved to
moving
Texas
around a
when
little
I was
bit.
in second grade. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is one of your parents in the military?
No, so both my parents work for GM. So
Okay.
obviously they have different plants in those locations. And so
Mm,
I've
okay.
been
Got
Mhm,
technically
you.
there the
Got you.
longest.
mhm.
Got you. Okay. So, you received multiple awards as the let's see, the 2019 Gatorade Player of the Year. Would you say that's one of your biggest accomplishments? If so, why not?
Definitely, probably that was my biggest accomplishment, maybe until I made like the Olympic team. I would always joke around and be like, maybe I peaked in high school just because that's such a huge award to win. And obviously, we got to go to the ESPYs and we got to meet so many amazing
Wow.
people due to it. So that was
Yeah.
really like awesome. And they did like a home like film production. So it was just like probably the coolest experience I've had. But then making the Olympic team was definitely like another huge accomplishment just because people, dream about that whenever they're little. So to make that team, that was really awesome. And it was just a cool experience getting to meet so many people and the Olympic Village and just the whole experience.
Oh,
Wow.
that sounds pretty
Now,
neat.
we
Tell
got
us,
a question from
tell us
Ed.
about the Olympic, the whole experience. Like, tell us, first of all, making it,
Hmm.
making the Olympics. You guys were in Oregon, were you? Waiting?
Yes, ma'am. So
You were in
the
Oregon. So tell us, walk us through that whole process.
Yeah, so I guess there's like kind of different, like you have to have different marks to kind of make the Olympic team. So you have to have like the Olympic standard and get top three at the trials. So thankfully, I had hit the Olympic standard at the SEC outdoor meet a couple weeks prior. And so that kind of gave me the confidence because there's only three girls in the US that have the Olympic standard and only three make the team. So I
Oh,
was like, hopefully no one else hits the standard and then I'll be like good to go. But I needed to obviously get top three at the trials to like secure the spot. And so
wow.
I had been in Oregon for a while just because we had NCAA's before the trials. And
Yeah.
just kind of going into that, I felt like I was just going to make the team because I had prayed about it and I was just like, whatever
Yeah.
happens, happens. But like, I know I've worked really
Exactly.
hard for this moment and I just didn't think anyone else like deserved it besides the top three girls that made the team. Obviously everyone works really hard, but I just knew like I just had a feeling I was gonna make it. And so I got top three. I got third at the meet and I made it and it was like probably one of the best days of my life just because my whole family was very emotional because obviously like everyone dreams about it and my mom had went to the trials but she didn't make the team so it was kind of like for her too just because I know she wanted to make it but then like life happened and she didn't get to try again so it was just a huge moment for me.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So we have
Mhm.
some questions from one of our guests.
Right,
One of
Mhm.
them
right.
is, how long have you ran track and how did you raise money? How do you raise money to go to the Olympics, or is that something you have to do?
So I've been running track probably since my fifth grade year. I ran with North Texas Cheetahs all throughout like high school and middle school, and a lot of like my friends now that went to DeSoto. Like I went to Arkansas this past weekend, and so I saw a couple of like the DeSoto girls there.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for, like I said, a while now. And then you don't have to raise money to go to the Olympics.
Okay.
Like USA, Team USA, they pay for it. And then
Oh, good.
but prior to when I was at University of Florida now, the University of Georgia paid for me to go to trials. That's just what they do as like when you're in the like collegiate scene. But if you were pro, then things would be different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's good to hear.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Here, because
So
I
yeah,
believe.
very thankful for that.
All right. Shout out to Mean Girl Hockey.
From
Yes.
Yeah,
Canada. So look,
watching from
Jasmine,
Canada.
you mentioned somebody I'm familiar with, well, a team I'm familiar with, which is North Texas Cheetahs, which is well known
Hmm.
around the USA track and field, from Texas to all the way across the USA track and field. That is one of the best female
Yeah.
track clubs around, not just in Texas, but they kick butt and take names from state to state. And they've been
Yeah.
doing that. And of course, we know that you have to have surrounded yourself with good individuals, being able to go. One thing I do know about Coach Orlando McDaniel, who, passed away from COVID right around the time COVID just had hit, one of the questions I want to ask is how has that affected your life since he passed? But one thing I also do know that he was a very, very, very disciplined coach.
Mhm.
Like he was a zero tolerant
Yeah.
guy.
Mhm.
So I know some people felt it was tough to run from it for him, but
Mhm.
everybody that he coached, they went up.
Yeah.
So what is your experience with him and how did it affect you that he passed away? And what did he also with that discipline he has, do you feel like that played a great role in where you ended up being able to be a Olympian and to discipline yourself?
Yeah, so I remember like my first practice I ever had with Coach Orlando was like I think my 10th birthday, and I just thought he was crazy. I was like, this is insane. Like I obviously like summer track is like it's a different level, especially in Texas.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I thought he was crazy, and I was like, these workouts are too hard. But obviously, like especially whenever he like sees potential in you, he's just that much tougher.
Tougher
And
on
so
you.
obviously he saw potential in me, and I really did have to work my way up because when I started track, I really wasn't that good. But then eventually I
Mm.
kept doing better. And then I would get on an A-team relay, and then I started jumping. And just like he cared about all of his girls so much that he wanted us to do the best. And like he really did help whenever y'all were talking about recruiting. Like, yeah, sometimes your high school coaches won't do a lot for you, but Orlando definitely made sure all his girls
Oh
had
yeah.
scholarships
He sure
and were
did.
covered and like good to go. So
He sure did.
definitely, and it was kind of funny because at my signing party, he like, yeah, he ruined it. He didn't ruin. Well, yeah, he like because I was like, I didn't even announce what school I was going to, and then he had told everyone before, and I was like, I didn't even get to do it, but just
Yeah.
like knowing how he is, that's just like
Yeah.
that was like an Orlando move, but
It sure was. Yeah. I
yeah,
can imagine because he want everybody to know that's his girl. I trained
yeah,
her and this, that, and yeah. He
mhm,
want to be the first. I mean, there used to be meets during the Texas relays. There's a big, huge argument in the stands all the time. And he'd be like,
yeah.
he could be yelling, like you could be sitting in the stands at like the 50-yard line. And there's a
Mhm.
guy that may have talked noise about his team way down on the 20 on the first, second, two rows. His girls come through and win. What? Oh, who gonna beat
Yeah.
who now? Who? I mean, he was. I mean, he did not care, but he was
Yeah.
well respected. But they loved him, but hated him at the same time.
Mhm.
But
Wow.
he backed everything
So,
up he said, and
yeah.
it's just
Backed it
still
up.
unbelievable that he is not that he's
Mhm.
gone. That was just so sudden.
Yeah, and so obviously like that I found out he passed like kind of right when I came back from school, when I came home from school from COVID. And so that was like really tough because I was probably one of like the first big losses that I've had in my life. And
Hmm.
so just like even now, it just doesn't feel like he's gone, especially since I'm away at college. It's just like whenever I come back home, I'm like, okay, like like he's here, but it's like, but he's not. So
Yeah,
that part's definitely tough. But
yeah.
and I feel really, my heart really goes out to like the younger girls, just because
They didn't get
like
that
I couldn't even
experience.
imagine like still being in middle school and high school and having to deal with that. So yeah, but
Yeah.
it does hurt. And
Yeah. Was he like a
Oh.
yeah, he just like honestly like anything that we needed, like he would go out of his way, like he would do anything as far as helping us if there was girls that needed help paying for flights, hotels, like he had us shoes, whatever we needed, like he made sure we were good. And I feel like that's kind of hard to come by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
really?
very.
Yeah.
Well, this leads to my next question. Um, Out of all the great college track and field programs, what made you decide to choose Georgia and instead of your hometown?
So I would say like the schools in Texas, no offense, they don't really do an amazing job as keeping like the talent in Texas. They're kind of, I don't know, I feel like they could try a little harder with recruiting, especially like big recruits. So I had visited Georgia, University of Georgia, my sophomore year of high school, and I just kind of kept that school in the back of my head. And I think I visited my junior year and then my senior year as well. And then I visited the University of Florida. Well, honestly, I visited so many schools. My dad is like crazy too. And so I think I took my first like unofficial my freshman year and I went to the University of Michigan, but he had me traveling everywhere to make sure I picked the right school. And so, like, honestly, the schools out of state just kind of recruited me harder. And I
Mhm.
had fell in love with Georgia. And that's where I went my first 2 years. And then my coach left this past season. So I had chose the University of Florida because I felt most comfortable and I had visited here in high school. So,
Oh, good.
but I did
Okay.
visit the University of Texas for an official visit, and I did like it, but obviously, like it just wasn't like the perfect fit for me. But I'm very happy with
Mm.
my choices that I've gone with.
Do you feel like Texas colleges focus more on football and basketball than maybe track or some of the other sports? Did you feel like
Um,
that or?
yeah, honestly, I feel like that like at every school because I've been at two now, like two big SEC schools, and Florida does have a better reputation as far as track, like the longevity, and like Georgia just started getting good at track. So I definitely, at least people like here so far, they do respect our program more and like our coaches and stuff. But at Georgia, we were like such a great team as well, and like no one cared, and so like that part was really frustrating as like an athlete because like to know that like you made the Olympic team and like your athletic program didn't even post about it or like didn't even care, but like
Wow.
I'm sorry, but like just a random guy on the
Oh,
football team like does one thing and it's like like the biggest thing ever. But
Yeah, that's true.
so yeah, like so that part was like very frustrating for like myself and my family because we like go all in on the programs. But so far here it's I don't want to like judge it because obviously I just got here, but I definitely do know like a lot of the schools don't really care about track that much just because we aren't like a huge revenue sport. But I don't know, I still think we're important just
Of
because
course.
you
like
are important.
yeah, so that part does suck. But like obviously I understand like football and basketball they're bringing in the money, so that's where you're gonna like put your most like of your energy into.
So do you think
So,
it's like more
Jasmine,
like when it get to the higher level, it's it's more business than
Um, yeah, I mean, I think like college is like definitely like a business just in general as far as like I was scared to leave the University of Georgia at first just because I didn't want to leave on like my terms. Well, one because I respected my coach a lot and I didn't want to like I gave him my word, so I wanted to stand by that. So I didn't want to leave first but like they can also block you. Like they don't have to let you perform if they don't want to if you do leave. Because it's like, oh
Wow.
well, another school like okay, now you're gonna be making money for them, or like I feel like this kind of happens a lot with football, but I know a lot of girls that transferred this year, especially with the whole portal situation. It's been like off the charts, but a lot of girls couldn't finish like their NCAA season that I know, even though their coach was leaving as well, but like their school just blocked them because like they could and they had the power to.
I didn't know they could do that in college. I know
Hmm.
that they have certain rules in football, which is a lot of stuff changed with the transfer portal and all of that. But I did not know that
mhm.
in track they can block you, kind of like you could get blocked from moving from high school, and
Yeah.
in
Well,
a
like,
sport. I didn't
okay,
know they could.
I guess well, I entered the portal in season, and so other people had entered the portal in season, which means like other
Mhm.
schools can talk to you. But I had talked with like my AD about it before to make sure I could still finish my season. But I know some people that like they at other schools they couldn't do that.
They couldn't do that. Oh
yeah,
wow.
Wow, wow.
So
there's
look,
So,
we've noticed that like doing some research, we noticed that you're also good in some other sports. Can you talk to us about that? Like, and why do you think people consider cheerleading? They don't consider cheerleading as a sport.
Mhm. So yeah, I did competitive cheer. Probably starting well when I got to Texas, like in the second grade, and I did that all the way through. I did competitive cheer through my freshman year, and then I just cheered in high school at Lake Ridge. And so honestly, it was such a huge time commitment because I cheered at Spirit of Texas, which is like an hour away in Capel. And so the fact that like my mom and my dad they drove me like an hour to and from every day was a
Mhm.
lot. But I once I like I'm into something, I really go all in. And so I was ended up being really good at cheer and like tumbling and the jumps and all that stuff. So that was like really fun for me for a minute. Looking back on it though, it just wasn't a lot of diversity. So I feel like that kind of like affected like my outlook on a lot of things and just like who I was around and like my self-esteem
Mhm.
growing up, which I kind of feel bad for my younger self, but it was like obviously a great experience. And I was like I said, I was really good at tumbling, which helps now in the jumps. So that was awesome. And but I guess I would say school cheer is very different from competitive cheer. Competitive cheer takes a lot of effort and work, but like so does school cheer too. But normally people just see like little sideline things, which takes a little less effort than some of the other like skills in cheer.
So, but cheer is a lot of work. Like it's
Yes,
a lot of
yeah.
work, and
I
it is a
probably
sport.
yeah, no, I definitely put so many hours in, and then we ended up winning a world championship, which is like probably like the
Wow.
highest thing you
Wow.
can do in cheer. So that was it meant a lot to me back in the day. Now I could probably care less about it, but it was cool in the moment.
So you just in the championship era. I mean, you from cheer to being in Olympics. Did you ever expect in a million years you would have been an Olympian?
um, kind of well like obviously it was my goal, and so I remember like my first Olympics that I really remember watching like in 2012. I was like I just started crying. I was like I want that to be me so bad. And then so now to like say I'm an Olympian, it's just really cool. I'm like just very grateful that God blessed me with the
Mhm.
gift, and um, just thankful for my parents that pushed me and continued to make me run track in the moment after Orlando's first crazy practice because and I got to this. So,
So, Jasmine, I know that you thought you were going to be Olympian. Tell us about the letter that you wrote to your high school coach.
um, like whenever she was like showing it in the thing, like I do not like. I guess I remember writing it, but same time I don't because I feel like it was such a long time ago. But I wrote it my senior year, and I just know like kind of my senior year, I was in like a a dark space. I don't know. It's just like it was a really tough year for me too, just with the whole transitioning and like obviously something that I advocate is like mental health, just because my first 2 years
Yeah.
at Georgia, it was so bad. And then high school is kind of whenever I started to experience like depression and whatnot. So in the letter, I went to like breakfast with her one day, and she was just kind of like, in the letter it was so sad because you were just like praying that you like found people that like were like-minded like you, and that you found like genuine friends. And so my first 2 years at Georgia wasn't really like that, and I like still prayed about that. And so now to be here at like the University of Florida, it's like literally everything I prayed for is just like now to fruition. So I haven't really read the whole thing, but just to know that I wrote that, and then now to look at like my life now, I'm just very
Wow.
thankful.
Amen.
Oh
Well, you did
man.
write in that letter that you were going to be an Olympian.
Yes, and I
Right.
did.
That's manifesting
So,
everything. So
So
look, when you're
mhm.
preparing
Speaking
for
it.
something like that, like
yes,
what do
I was
you, what
thinking
is it?
write down the vision. She wrote down the vision and
Yeah, made it plain.
made
Yes.
Spoke
Yeah.
it
it
into existence.
That's
I'm
good.
like a total like optimist, especially with myself. Like I'm not gonna think negatively towards like myself or like how I'm gonna perform. And so normally I'll like write down my prayers, and it's just kind of cool to like see them happen, and just I don't know, it just makes me even more thankful that like God answered them. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Mean Girl Hockey wants to know, um, do you do anything to get spiritually prepared before you have a track event?
normally I just like pray. That's kind of I mean, like at the end of the day, like I feel like it's already written. Like God already knows what's gonna happen. So I don't like try to stress myself out too much. But sometimes whenever I do like panic a little bit, I see my parents in the stands. I'm like, Mom, please pray for me because right now it's just not going well. But that's
Yeah.
just like the main thing
Yeah.
that I do.
I
Yeah.
see
And
your
so
parents, your mom and dad really supporting you. I saw them there at your first track meet. Like, tell
Mhm.
us about the role that they played preparing you for all of this, for college, for the Olympics.
Mhm.
Like you said, your dad used to take you to colleges and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
tell us
Like
about
my
their input
parents
in your life.
are like really hardworking, and like especially coming from like their circumstances like in Detroit, I'm just very thankful for how hard they've worked for my sister and I. And that's just been kind of motivating to like see it happen for your parents, that like now it's like that's the expectation. And so they obviously want the best for my sister and I. So they've done it like everything they possibly could, when it comes to like recruiting, school, like academics, literally everything, that they just really went all in and like supported us 100%.
Good stuff. I'm just curious. Okay,
Mhm.
your favorite poet?
Okay, so I know I said that, but like I don't really know when I said that, but like I used to just like read poetry books in like high school. And so yeah, but I'm especially now with college, I don't really have a bunch of
You
time
don't
to
have the
read
time.
on my
Yeah, yeah.
free time.
And speaking of that, like I know that you have to prepare like for a magnitude of the Olympics. I mean,
Mhm.
you mentioned something about the mental health and all that stuff too. The magnitude of preparing for something like the Olympics. Like I used to coach summer track, and the reason why I heard a lot from Orlando, we used to share. I coach for DeSoto Nitro,
Oh,
and yeah, and
okay.
y'all used to be on that hill over there, and we would hear
Yeah,
Orlando
I
screaming
know.
his lungs out when y'all shared that other end over there. But
Mhm.
I used to tell the girls that I coached or whoever it is, like even my own daughter, ran. And there's always this one person that's just faster than you. I always tell them, hey, pick the person off in front of you that's faster than you, take it one by one. But
Mhm.
if you go in the blocks already nervous or whatever, I mean, you're going to be your natural nerves, but you're already
Yeah.
defeating yourself in the blocks if you're thinking you're going to lose.
Mhm.
You already lost the race before it even started if you think that.
Y
So if you go
Mhm.
into the Olympics or running any race or even doing a high jump and you know this person holds this bigger time or jump, how do you
Mhm.
prepare yourself to know today is the day for her to lose? Today is your day,
Well,
lady. Yeah.
well, like one
You're
quote
losing today.
I like one of my coaches when I did competitive cheer would always tell me, she was like, whoever works the hardest and wants it the most deserves to win. So like even if I'm
Yeah.
practicing, that's just kind of like my motto, like just work hard, and like I promise you no one wants to win as much as you do, or no one has the heart, which I think track is all about heart, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of talented people that have no heart, and like just
Hmm.
heart
Mhm.
wins all the time.
That's the truth.
And so, but going into the Olympics, I was just mentally exhausted from my summer and like transferring and moving and all, just the long
Mhm.
collegiate season that like I knew I wasn't going to do well going into the Olympics. And that was exactly what happened. But I just like, I don't know, you just kind of have to like hype yourself up and like just don't think negatively. Because I hate when like my friends do it, or like you just hate other people do it. So it's like, why are you doing it yourself? Whenever you would tell your
Yeah.
friends, like, you got it. So.
Mhm.
S-
Yeah. So
So, yeah, go ahead, Kawashka.
yeah, we got another question from
Mhm.
Miss Karen. Miss Karen, what type of money do Olympians make?
So like it's different, I guess, if you're like a collegiate athlete like me, like you do make money from making the team, but a lot of Olympians are pro, and so they have different pro contracts
Yeah.
with different shoe companies like Nike, Adidas, Puma, but it really does vary depending on what event you do. So obviously, like the sprints, everyone loves to sprint, so you probably make more money um, doing sprints, but also social media is like a big thing. So if you have like a big following, that obviously helps as well.
Oh, wow. So lastly, one of our last questions, what is on your next list of goals to accomplish?
Definitely graduate college. I'll graduate in 23, so excited for that. And then to win NCAA's, I have not won an NCAA title, and I think our team as a whole can win one as well. So those are my goals, and yeah, those are probably my biggest three goals. And then obviously make the world championship team
Oh yeah,
this
that's
summer in
good.
2022. Yeah.
Do you want to go back to the Olympics? Like you said, this was a tough transition year for you, but I
Mhm.
mean, is the Olympics going to be in 3 years or are they going to wait
Yeah.
4 years? So it's
No,
going to
it's
be
gonna
in
be in
three
three
years.
years. Yeah. So obviously that's my goal again, and I'll just keep trying as long as God gives me the ability to keep doing track. So.
Amen.
Well,
Miss
Jasmine,
Moore,
it's
we got
been
to say,
amazing. It's been amazing having you on the show. You're just a light. You're just a light. So it's just been a
Thank
joy
you.
having you. We want to thank you for joining us. And we just want to tell everybody that if you have a local business or you need exposure to get your message out there, to the masses, send an email to canwetalksports@gmail.com. We have competitive sponsorship rates and packages available. And if you know someone that has a story that they want to share, have them get in touch with us. We would love to have you on the show. So again, Jasmine, you just blessed us tonight. We wish you well in all your endeavors. We're
Thank
speaking into
you.
existence, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Olympics, gold medal.
go be
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you
Graduate,
so
Thank y'all
much.
top
so
of your
much.
class. Yes.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank
thank you,
you.
Jasmine.
Great. She was great, you guys. She was really good.
So so what we right now next we gotta introduce the Big Mama segment.
Baby, let me tell you. God, no. If I told him once, I done told him twice.
Big Mama.
Where's Big Mama at?
Let's go, Big Mama.
Where Big Mama at? There we go.
There she
Hey,
go. There she go. Hey, Big Mama. Hey,
Listen to what
how
she
about
playing
Hey,
in the
ladies.
background.
how about
She
you
said,
Yes,
"Who
sing,
that?"
Big Mama?
indeed. Baby. Hello, ladies. Hello. Great
Hey, we heard.
interview with Jasmine. Shout out to
Yeah.
Lake Ridge High. Yeah, great
Uh-huh.
job with her. All right, so Big Mama coming in. Ooh, those Saints did their thing on Sunday.
I knew that was
Jameis
coming.
Winston, come on, baby. You was leading in passes and interceptions. And you came right on and did the doggone thing down in what were you guys in Florida? I think you were. But you did
Jacksonville.
it, and I tell you, it was amazing to watch you work. So shout out to my team. Who that, baby? So I have a quick few things for you this evening. We're still going on with the Black Girl Magic. I see Jasmine, the triple jump Olympian, and on Sunday, Maya Chaka. She had a historical moment. First Black female representing women of color as an official in an NFL game. So shout out to
Wow.
Maya. That was that was a great feat. I tell you, slowly but surely, we are having our say and making our way. Two things happened. I want to say a few things because when, even for the parents that are listening, when your children are playing sports, the tempers flare, and that's understandable. Things will happen, but at the end of the day, we want to remember one thing, and that is to respect each other. So I just want to show you two quick videos from this weekend that I thought were absolutely horrible.
Aubrey Pleasant and Jeff Okuda on the sidelines, or rather, he is fired up. It's a secondary that has a lot of youth, a lot of inexperience. It's tough love in that secondary.
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have more time than he's had in the past in the passing game as well.
Oh, that might be an early exit for Ronnie Harrison, taking a swing at a coach on the Chiefs bench.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Kansas City bench. 15-yard penalty. Since they made the first down, it'll be 1st and 10.
Okay.
So these are men. You cannot treat these men like they are kids. You walk up on somebody disrespectfully, you don't know what what frame of mind they're in, so you have to keep yourself contained. And so when I was watching this, I was like, wait a minute. Jeff Okuda, I mean, oh my gosh, shout out to him. He just sat there and he just took it. And then his teammates is like, no, this is not right. So when you see things that are not right, so it's okay to speak up. It's okay to say something. It may be a little different, but it's fine. Say something when things are not going as they should. But Ronnie Harrison say, "You push me, I push back." So not that Big Mama promote violence. So don't get that. Don't send me no emails. Don't write me no notes. Don't tell me nothing. But Ronnie said, "You push me, I push back," and that's just exactly what happened. But what I want to reiterate and what I want the takeaway that I want you to get from those is respect. You treat people the way you want to be treated. You talk to people the way you want to be talked to. And so that's what I have for you this week. RESPECT, respect. That's the bottom line. That's all Big Mama has for you. Oh, wait a minute. So you thought I was going to talk about them Cowboys?
Oh
Oh,
Lord.
baby.
No,
How
no, Big
No.
Mama, no.
Get her
about
off the
them boys?
screen.
Big
Her
Mama,
segment's up. Her
cut
segment's
her
up.
off. She done.
All right,
Her
that's all Big Mama got for you.
Speaking of y'all, what Big Mama just spoke on about in the video with Jeff Okuda, I know Jeff Okuda personally. That has always been a mannerable kid. That's why he sat there and was able to hold his composure. But for whatever happened that caused him to probably go back and forth. Of course, he's a grown man now, but he has always, since I've known him, he trained at a young age with his trainer Clay Mack, who is with my son. Even though he's a receiver, he played DB too. He trained with him. That kid he's always been really mannerable. So it's crazy to see whatever happened and transpired for that coach to be in his face like that. So she right, they grown. I know
Mm.
there's certain criticism they do, but when is it crossing the line too much, y'all? Like when is it? What do y'all think?
That was
Thank you,
crossing the line.
mean girl hockey. I'm sorry, y'all. She had
Hmm.
shouted us out, but
I seen that.
um, you know when it's crossing the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, even a 3-year-old know when it's crossing the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have to show it on video to know you crossing the line.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, throwing your headset and all that. Like, are you serious? Come on. That's your third round draft pick guy right
these
there.
are
Come on.
grown men.
I
So
mean, first round, third pick. Sorry. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they have this type of relationship behind scenes where they've been doing it. But
Yeah.
if that's the case, don't do it in public.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
true.
this big thing about it. Because and I'm gonna say this, we was taught, everything stays at home, and I'm not talking about the negative stuff, but if you get into it with somebody, why take it into the public?
Yeah. Let's talk about it in private. Yeah.
Let's talk about it behind closed doors. And so when you practicing and all of that, that's when that needs to be done. If that's okay on both ends, but if not, like Big Mama said, it's all about respect. Because that's what I'm big on too. I mean, honor and respect. Even if the kids are younger than us, there's still a level of
Level of
respect.
respect. Yeah.
respect.
Yep.
Absolutely. And Kawashika, don't you think like social media has a lot to do with that too? Because now people get into it on social media and they're back and forth, and it's like
Instead of
handle
calling
that
each
at
other
home.
on the phone. Yeah. Y'all
Like,
have each other
right?
phone number. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Absolutely. But it's, when that camera come on, try your best to be professional. Try your best to be yourself. Just try your best. Don't try to, to be disrespectful. I'm
or
just being
belittle.
real.
To not be the yeah.
Yeah, just be
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful. But this is what I want to bring up before we go into the parent tip of the week, because of course y'all know my son is at USC, and earlier this week, or probably at the beginning middle of this week, the coach Helton was fired
After the game.
after the game. Oh,
That was
exactly.
they played Saturday. He was fired Sunday.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my thoughts is I never did get to actually see him in action.
Mm.
I didn't watch the film from last year for USC. I didn't. And so it's kind of like a deja vu, to be honest with me, because we kind of experienced that at Colorado. Um, but we do have, I believe they're going to go with the intern, and he is a black coach, absolutely, to move forward. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do to, advance, because they are really a big powerhouse,
That
guys.
sure is. I always
They
have been.
they
Mm-hmm.
don't play, and so I just, my prayer is that my son, if he's an intern, that means he most likely already know him, because intern means
Yeah.
you've already been, into the program. And so, but that's how it goes. Yes, that's how it goes. Like, you lose a game, the coaches, they get rid of you.
I was shocked
Yeah,
they did it in the middle of the I mean, we just at week 2.
it
Like I
just
was shocked
started.
that wow, like again, of course, I guess being that they hiring somebody within the
Right.
to move forward, you don't have to learn a new playbook. You don't have I mean it's hard dealing with a coach's change. My
A-
son experienced it with Les Miles being
Right.
fired and he was earning his way. And then next thing you know, Les Miles is fired. Now you got a brand new coach. You got to reprove yourself to this guy and everybody else just to earn that scholarship that you were trying to earn when you came in as a walk on. Now you're back at square one.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
tough, and it's a lot. So
I
going
was,
into the
yeah,
huh?
go
Yeah,
ahead.
going into the parent tip of the week, that is one of the things that we can like base it up on. Like, you know, kind of get to know the program. Like when if your kid gets caught in a coaching's change, you know, only thing we can do is pray that it still operates. However, if that situation worked for your kid before the coach situation changed, because like they say, one of the things it is everybody's situation is different. So make sure you're in a situation that's situational for your kid. And if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work out, because my son's a receiver. If you're going to throw the ball 80% of the time, anybody who plays receiver, that's probably not the school they would. If they were recruited to go as a receiver, they're probably not gonna. If they're gonna run it 80% of the time, they're probably not gonna. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
don't
Mm-hmm.
know. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
see. Okay, is this gonna still fit my son's scheme? You know what I mean? So you have to pay attention, learn the program, and if
Absolutely.
your kid starts saying, "Hey, I think I have to reconsider transferring." Parents don't
Mm-hmm.
automatically think your kid is trying to transfer because they want to go follow a friend or things are not working out. Yeah, things may not work out. And at the end of the day, this is their future, especially if their ultimate goal is to go to the NFL. But it makes no sense for your son to be a receiver with a running team. He's not going to
Yeah.
have stats for the scouts to even want to look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Abs-
That's
Absolutely.
absolutely true.
Yeah. So who got the next part of the parent tip of the week? Either one of y'all got something else to say?
Parents, listen. Real short and cut. Stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
dealing with that too.
Drink a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning now.
Mm-hmm.
Drink a lot of water. Listen. Um, and one of the things, and I'm gonna be real with you, one of the things that I do is detox. Like, seriously, this food today is not good for us, guys. And so I just want to let the parents know to stay healthy, get a lot of rest. Yes, get a lot of rest, and even mental health is the key.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
because we have a lot of things that we have on our plate, and thank God we do, but you still got to take care of your body and stay healthy. So that is my parent tip
Tip
of the
of
week.
the week.
Well, I
What
have a
about you,
tip, you
Karen?
guys. It might be a
Mhm.
little unconventional, but I would just encourage parents to start talking to your kids um, about losing family members or loved ones, or like Jasmine talked about losing her coach, um, losing Coach
Orlando.
Orlando
Hmm.
to COVID. Like, it's happening, you guys. These kids are losing teachers, they're losing coaches, they're losing loved ones. And we need to find a way to be able to explain to these kids and to talk to these kids, because they might be going through some stuff we don't even know what they're going through because they can't express it. So
Right.
just keep the channels open and talk to your kids. Find out what's going on with them and find out what stuff they need to get off their chest, what kind of stuff they need to release and let go of and give it to God.
And it doesn't make them weak if they have to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it.
That's right.
Right, right.
I can imagine a lot of stuff I could, I wanted to tell even my parents or anyone growing up in, just school period, and we kept it in. And the more you keep things in, you have all this pressure on you, and now you burst out of anger and people think you're crazy. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have an outlet. You
That's
don't
true.
have no one you can go to and confide in. And here's the key: not just confide in it. They're not gonna go tell Mama Sue and Daddy Jojo. Just that 101. So yes, just let the kids know that they should be able to come to you hands down. Listen, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you my mind just went left. But I don't care what it is. Come tell me, because they need somebody. I don't care what it is, guys. They need to know they can come tell anything. Mom or dad or who are up
Grandma.
a
Mm-hmm.
judge. So
Mm-hmm.
Well,
absolutely.
we want to thank you guys for everybody who tuned in. Follow us on social media for on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure again, if you're on YouTube, like us, subscribe, share, comment. Share our show with your family and friends. This platform is growing. Again, if you have a business and or you want to sponsor, or you want to even get on and have a story you want to share, make sure you email canwetalksports@gmail. And we're so happy for the fans that we do have, the people that are supporting us. This platform is growing. And like I always say, baby, we about to be ESPN, baby.
ESPN.
See,
Speaking it into
Into
existence.
existence.
yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for
Love you
joining.
guys. Thanks for
Go.
joining. Have a
Yeah.
blessed week.
Let's go.